I want to share something with you in regards to what Jesus has done and the importance that people take for granted where when Jesus says, I will never leave you nor forsake you, regardless of what we do in life. Jesus promised that he will never leave us nor forsake us. It's in his word. And I'm going to show you what what this looks like. When Jesus was in the garden of Gethsemane, he uh, he was um, he was praying, and two of his disciples were outside, or at the edge of the garden, while Jesus was praying. And while he was praying, um, he was just praying to the Father, like, let this cup pass, and but your will, not my will. And um, as I was reading in the on the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and the book of Luke is the only book that says that when Jesus was betrayed, Jesus healed the soldier that the ear was cut off because he was betrayed. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they all tell the story of what happened. The book of John is the only book, I believe, yep, it's the only book that it says it was Peter. And so in the book of Luke, but anyways, I'm babbling here, but I want to share something with you. In the book of Luke, chapter 22, verse 47. And while he was still speaking, behold, a multitude, and he who was called Judas, one of the 12, went before them and drew near Jesus to kiss him. That's what we know of um, the the kiss of Judah. The betrayal. Um, Lord, shall we strike? So when those around him saw what was going to happen, they said to him, Lord, shall we strike with the sword? And one of them struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his right ear. That's in the book of Luke. In the book of John, chapter 18, verse 10, it says, Then Simon Peter, having a sword, drew it and struck the high priest's servant and cut off his right ear. Now, mind you, Peter's the one that Jesus called him, upon this rock I should build my church. That's a whole different teaching. Um, but he's the same person that said, Get behind me, Satan. Because many times Peter would tell Jesus, I'm not going to betray you, I'm going to betray you, yeah, whatever. But the interesting thing is that many people don't know that the gospel is a book of Luke. Luke was a doctor. And out of all the gospels, he's the only one that says that Jesus touched the the Roman soldier that came looking for Christ. And then Peter grabbed a sword and cut off his right ear. And but Jesus answered and said, permit even this. And he touched his ear and healed him. Then Jesus said to the chief priests, captains of the temple, and the elders who had come to him, Have you come out against a robber with swords and clubs? Like, am I a robber? Are you coming against me? Am I a robber? Um, when I was with you daily in the temple, why did you not try to seize me? But this is your hour and the power of darkness. Okay. So the Roman soldiers came looking for Jesus Christ. The Roman soldiers, you touch a Roman soldiers, you're dead. There's no trial. There's no let me hear your story. You're dead, completely dead. It's immediate. It's immediate. So when Peter cut off the ear of the soldier, Jesus pretty much rebuked him, like, dude, what are you doing? And he healed the soldier. And why do you think he healed them? I mean, he came to arrest them because if you touch, injure, or disrespect a Roman soldier, you're dead. But there has to be proof. Jesus healed the soldier to remove the proof. Jesus took on the burden so Peter would live. Jesus didn't have to do that. He did it anyways. Jesus didn't, I mean, look how Peter was treating, oh my gosh. Peter, after seeing what Jesus did for him, he still had the nerve to deny him 3 times in the courtyard. Peter, Jesus just saved you from a brutal death, execution from the Romans. And you went ahead and denied him 3 times still. So, if there's no proof, there's no conviction. So, how can the Romans convict Peter? You can't. Because Jesus took on that burden. Jesus healed the soldier. So, there's no proof. Can you imagine the soldier going back to his boss and saying, yeah, he cut my right ear? Let me see. And there's no evidence. So, in Jesus, now, this is a perfect example that I believe we all have a little bit of Peter in us. We're with Jesus or we're not with Jesus. Are you a Christian? We're not a Christian. We talk, we don't talk. I think everybody has a little bit of Peter in us. Okay? Because, yeah, we love Christ. We still deny him sometimes. We don't deny him as not like Peter did. I don't know who this guy is. We deny him in our lifestyle, and we deny him in how we treat other people. We deny him and in so many different ways. Okay. And I don't think that's the right way. I don't think that's what it's not right that we do that to Christ. But Christ will always be there for us. Christ will always be there for us whether we like it or not. You could deny him as much as you want. But he just proves that if you're walking with him, like Peter was, if you're with him, he'll be with you. He'll be with you. And when the day comes, the day of judgment, that you have to, I don't know, um, face him one day, judgment day, um, just like the Roman soldier, Christ is going to take the blame. Christ is going to take everything, put it upon him, and tell God the Father, hey, there's no evidence. There's no evidence. There's no conviction. There's no trial. So let me know what you guys think about this. I would love to hear your comments. I would love to hear what you guys have to say. And thank you so much for watching this video. And God bless you.